guys, how we doing? Welcome back. It's been a while since I've done a video. Right, so today basically the video I'm trying to make today is to show you, like, if you've got excess beetroot, sometimes you have you have a gluttonous harvest and then you may not be able to give everything away, but you still don't want your stuff to go off, right? So what you would do is find other ways to preserve it maybe, or use it in other ways. So one of the ways that I've learned recently is you could actually make wine with your beetroot. I was like, wow, could you actually make wine with your beetroot? So now I did a little bit more research, a little bit of studies, and here we are. I've got these guys here, which was the beetroot from the allotment that I picked last time. It was just what I've got left, and I didn't want them to go off. So I'm going to decide to try to make a wine out of it, and hopefully I'll be able to enjoy this wine next spring as the season is about to start. Alright guys, so I just want to show you how I'm doing this, and maybe you may want to replicate it one day and see how it goes. Yeah. Alright guys, so what we're going to be needing, we're going to need sugar. Alright, we're going to need 500 grams of sugar. Alright, we're going to need a lemon for the juice. We're going to need our yeast. Right, there's our beetroot already peeled. We got some orange peel here. We're going to need to take out as much of the white stuff away from that as possible. We're going to need a pan. And we're going to need about 4.5 liters of water to go in there. Alright guys, so that's basically what we need, and that's what I'm going to be using. And oh yeah guys, don't forget the carboy, very important. This is what we're going to be storing our, drinking. Alright, all good. Alright guys, so once we've put our water inside of the pan, we need to now cut our beetroot up as small as we can. It doesn't have to be too small because you're going to need to take it out afterwards. And we're just going to chop them up into bits like this into the water. Yes, as we're doing that, you'll start to notice even the water is starting to turn red. The natural color of the beetroot. That's what we're going for. Right guys, so now we've finished chopping up our beetroot inside of the pan. Right, we're going to turn the fire up, and then what I'm going to do is wait for this to get to a boil, and then once it starts to boil, I'm going to turn the heat down. Right, because all I'm trying to do is just extract as much of the sugars and the flavors out of the beetroot as possible. I'm not directly trying to boil out the beetroot. Alright guys, so we're going to let that happen and then show you a quick look at what it looks like when it's boiling, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright guys, so now our mixture is started to boil. We're going to add the orange peels in here. Give it a little mix. And one of the reasons why it's good to put the stuff in while it's still hot and it's still, boiling in a way, it will kill any bacteria, any stuff that may contaminate your drink later on. So I'm going to now put, the half a kilo. I'm not going to wait guys, I'm just going to pour roughly what I believe is half a kilo of sugar, which is probably just about half of this packet. As you're pouring it in, make sure you turn it because you don't want your sugar to crystallize at the bottom. I'd say that's probably about half of the packet there. Let's pour a little bit more. That's it. And now I'm just going to turn the heat off now. And normally I would wait, let it cool down to room temperature. I'm going to chill a bit. I'm going to put it in the sink with some cold water, and then I'm going to try to cool it down a bit quicker so I can get the process done a bit faster today. So once I've cooled it down, I'm going to show you the process of me putting it into the bottle. Alright guys, so yeah, let's get on with that. Alright guys, now the must is finally at the correct temperature to put into the carboy. And then, it's cool enough now for the yeast. I'm going to try to pour this without spilling it. So yeah, so it's cool enough now for the yeast to basically do its thing. If it was too hot, then all you would just do is kill all the yeast off. So we had to wait for it to get to at least room temperature. So I'm going to pour it until it gets to the neck. Just before the neck. Because we have to save a little bit of space for the yeast to do its stuff. Right guys, so I'm a little bit short from where I want to get to. I ideally want it to be about here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Not a lot. Alright. Just to get it to the ideal position for the, for the yeast to do its stuff. So you need enough space from the neck, right? The yeast is going to bubble up and it's probably going to rise up a little. You don't want it to be too active that it, blows off your airlock. But yeah, I'm thinking this will be enough space for it to do its thing. It's the first time I'm ever, trying beetroot like this. Because like I said, I did not know you could ever brew beetroot and make wine with it. But yeah, it's an experiment for me. I'm hoping you guys may want to try it one day if you grow beetroot at the allotment or, in the back garden. And then, you've got a whole heap of it. And it's basically you're thinking, I don't want it to go off. What am I going to do with it? Well, it's a... try some wine if you're a drinker, yeah? All right, guys, so I'm going to show you the next step now, which will be for me putting some lemon in, all right? Just to, add a little bit of acid to it. Then I'm going to take a hydrometer reading, and that will hopefully let me know what the alcohol content will be if it, goes all the way till the end. All right, guys, so I'll show you that next. All right, guys, so what we're going to do also is to add some lemon into our must to kind of add a little bit of acidity. We don't really need a lot. I believe half a lemon should be adequate. The juice of half a lemon. So we'll just put that in, as you can see. Let me get this off. We're gonna give it a little shake, just to incorporate it in. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a hydrometer reading, all right, so that we can just check how much alcohol that we will have in there once the brew ferments all the way till the end. Sometimes it may stop before, sometimes it may, go all the way there, but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to see how much we've got from where we start to where it ends. So let me just get on with that. All right, so take the hydrometer reading. So now we're reading 1080, which would be, say, roughly about 13%, 12%. Yeah, about 12.5%. All right, so I think now we're in the correct wine range for me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the yeast, and then we're going to put the airlock on and let it sit for a couple of weeks, right? But let me just add the yeast in. All right, so the yeast I'm going to be adding is this one here. It's the super wine yeast. Yeah, compound from Young's, right, guys? So never used this one before, so I'm going to see how it goes. Going to add half a teaspoon. And try to get it in there without spilling it. So that's our yeast in there, guys. I'm basically just going to let the yeast sit in there. I'm not going to trouble it too much. Just a little shake up just to, incorporate it, get them wet up a bit. But I'm not going to go crazy with the mix up, guys. The yeast will do its own thing. So now I'm going to add the airlock on. Just need to set that up. Alright, guys, so that's the airlock. Gonna sit it up here like this, and I'm expecting to hopefully see this guy bubbling within, say, 6 to 12 hours. We should be getting some activity in here. Alright, guys, so maybe when I'm racking it into the next carboy, taking it off of the old yeast, I may make a video of that just to show you how it's getting on and how it looks. But guys, if you can make wine out of beetroot, the yeast doesn't have to be wine, the wine yeast. You could use any kind of yeast. Obviously, the different yeast may give you different quality to your wine, but you know, if you just want to make some free wine and you've got your own beetroot and you're able to produce your own beetroot, then why let them go to waste? You know, make something that you can maybe enjoy later on or give it to a friend. All right, guys. So I'm going to give you the progress on that, see how it goes. But on that note, guys, I'm going to say, live well and together we grow. Bless.